Hi class, this is Professor Jimenez. Welcome to GS25A1 Career Counseling week number 3. So for this week I have quite a few items to talk about because this is where we begin to kick things into high gear, in that now you're getting ready, you should start getting ready to start producing the midterm assignments, which will be your draft portfolios that we've been talking about. And more importantly, the draft portfolios are based on, again, creating 3 documents that you're going to need for your midterm. And that is your cover letter, um, resume, and reference sheet. I had to think about that one for a minute. But again, 3 items that you're going to be drafting and putting together and submitting to me in week 4. But this week, before we get there, this week, week 3, I want to use it as an opportunity to give you a lot of extra details around the cover letter, reference sheet, and resume. We're going to have a couple of extra videos this week to get you situated so that you could use this week and next week, week 4, to put all your stuff together so that you can submit to me at the end of week 4 your draft resume, cover letter, and reference sheet. So what to expect for this week. So this week there's a couple of extra assignments. And again, a lot of it is just additional videos, a lot of extra content, and things I want to make sure that we are all on the same page on. So this video that I'm recording right now is going to run a little bit longer than usual. But again, you'll understand why once I cover everything that we have to do this week. So the first thing that you need to do is view my video intro, which you're watching right now. And by the way, I'm going through the reports right now to see who's doing what in this class. And I can tell that some of you are answering the participation question, but you're not necessarily viewing the videos. So let me give you all a piece of advice. First and foremost, you should view all the videos first, then go and answer the participation question of the week. From this point forward, all the participation questions of the week will relate in some way or another to the videos that I'm producing. Because again, you need to be watching these videos. These videos are required viewing. Just like if you were in a standard class, a brick and mortar class at Mildred Ellie, you have required readings that you have to do for your classes. Well, same thing here, except they're going to be required videos. Now, for those of you that are wondering, because of the number of students that have registered for this class, there are 35 students at this point. What we're doing is making sure that we're giving everybody enough time to get their textbook. And I know for some folks, there's been some financial aid issues. So long story short, we will start using the book for a couple of assignments that you will need to complete starting in week 5. So be on the lookout for that in a couple weeks. But in the meantime, what do you have to do for week 3? Again, first thing, watch my video. That's the first thing you have to do. I'm going to cover a lot of detail of what's expected, because when I get an email from someone that says, I don't know what to do, and you're able to log in and you're able to see the videos, and my question is, are you watching my videos? Again, some folks, I know we've had some technical issues. People didn't have their IDs working and things, but by now, all of you, most of you, should be able to log on to eLearn, onto the Moodle site, and be able to access all of our content. And by the way, if you do run into issues where you're on a computer that you can't use for whatever reason, get another computer. You don't have to buy one, but you can go to Mildred Ellie. You can also use your phone. By the way, you can use your phone because your phone does have access to the eLearn. So you can actually download the Moodle app to access the course that I did it myself, so I can maintain contact with all of you. So having said that, let's start from the beginning. What's the first thing you need to do this week? Watch my video. That's the first thing. Second thing, there's a video that I'm posting that normally would have been a video from career, or would have been a presentation actually, from career services when they come into the brick and mortar classroom. Because this is online, what I'm going to do is I'm taking their presentation and I'm going to add a voiceover to it, so that this way you are able to use that presentation, because there's some really good chunks of information in it that I want you to watch. So watch what I'm calling the Career Services video that you'll see later in the Week 3 tab. In addition, I've posted 3 additional videos. One video on the mindset of creating a resume, because this is important, how you should be thinking about your resume, how you should be putting things together. That's the first thing. Second one is a video on cover letters, and another video is on the reference sheet. Now, these videos are not necessarily meant to help you create these items, but they're there to give you information, tidbits, and things to think about when you start putting these items together. So in total, there's a video introduction from me, there's a video from Career Services that you must watch. It has a lot of details, including things for your final. Then watch the 3 additional videos that cover the cover letter, the reference sheet, as well as the resume. So having said that, in addition, I've also posted a couple of extra links this week. I've put together a list of the resume, cover letter, and reference sheet templates that you can use. They're all in Microsoft Word. You can download them and edit them so that you can put your information into them. Now, these are the standard templates that are used by Career Services, and I highly recommend that you use them. More importantly, I also strongly encourage you, take a look at some of the resume templates that I've put up. I want you to go in there, modify them, update them with your information. I have templates if you are a medical assistant for your resume. I have another one for if you're an LPN. I have another one for business management students, and I have one for paralegals. So make sure that you are leveraging the right template for your resume. In addition, again, I have templates which can be used by anybody for your cover letter as well as for your reference sheet. So I'm going to spend some time in the Career Services video giving you the details of what I expect. But the point is, you have a lot of videos to look through and a lot of templates that you can utilize this week. So look through them and start going through the templates. The reason is you're going to have to update that template. You're going to have to put in your information. For example, in the resume template you download, you're going to have to put in information about your work experience, what jobs you've had. On average, the standard resume should be, for many of you, it may be 1 page. For others, it may be 2 pages. But resumes cannot be more than 2 pages. So keep that in mind. If you start going over 2 pages, you put too much. But again, the purpose of this exercise is to give you an opportunity to build a draft. You will receive feedback from me, and you will then build out the content from there. So again, watch all these videos. Okay, that's the first thing. Second of all, go through the templates, download the ones that are relevant to you, which is your resume template for your job, and then download the cover letter and reference sheet. Now, next week, in week 4, I'm going to give you specific instructions on what the job is, who you're applying to, what's the name of the organization, because you're going to need to update that information for the purposes of the midterm. And then you're going to work on those in week 4. But don't wait until week 4 to start going through the templates, especially if you're not very familiar with Microsoft Word. Make sure you go through them this week so that if you have questions, you can ask me. You have at least more than a week to do so. The other thing I want to highlight for you is I have gone through all of your week 1 assignments. I've graded them. Your grades are up both in Moodle as well as in Sonus. Now, a couple things I just want to highlight. Overall, you guys did exactly what I asked you to do, which is good news. You gave me 3 strengths, you gave me 2 weaknesses, at least most of you did. A couple folks said, well, I really don't have any weaknesses, but I'm going to give you 1, which is, at this point, I took it, I accepted it, and it's fine. The key message that I want to share with you is I want you to go back and take a look at the videos that I posted last week on how to answer the question around your weakness. Again, the weakness is, identifying the weakness that you want to talk about is one thing. Having the answer is a whole other topic. And again, your goal is to take any weakness, almost any weakness, and explain to the interviewer, and you need to write this down for yourself, what exactly is that you're doing to overcome that weakness. For many of you, I did write a couple of examples, things that you want to think about. In some cases, I may have told you, you may not want to choose the weakness that you chose because it is a bit problematic, which I'll get to in a minute. But I did provide some suggestions, how you want to talk about it, how you're trying to overcome it. The short answer is whenever you talk about trying to overcome weakness, you got to show that you're working on it, that you're developing it. It doesn't mean that you have solved for it and that it's perfect now, but you want to show, look, I'm aware that I have a weakness, I'm working on it, and I'm working on it in these ways. One of the standard answers, again, if it's relevant to you, is I'm working with my leader or my supervisor to improve the following area. So if it's time management, which some of you did bring up, better manage your time, better manage your ability to get things done, getting your goals completed. You know, one of the things you could easily do is talk about the fact that you can go in, that you are going in and talking to your leader. You're working with them, to prioritize your activities, to create a to-do list, to create a task list. These are just some of the things you can do. Maybe you're creating a calendar so that you can get things done. The point is you need to show that you are growing and that you are working on and developing these skills. If you just simply say, I have time management issues, and you don't say anything else, that becomes what I call a red flag. And I'll tell you right now, in the real world, and even in the mock interview, but more importantly in the real world, when red flags come up, believe me, people take notice, and it starts to poke holes and questions in the minds of the interviewer. Who is this person? Why do they have this issue? Why do they have this issue? And more importantly, should I be concerned? Because I'll tell you right now, there's a couple of ones that I may have told some of you, like, please either consider changing it or think about it in the following way. The three things that came up, and this was more than one person, there were a couple of you who brought this up, and this is why I'm bringing this up now in the video. Some of you did talk about the fact that, and I'm going to quote this now, you either have, you quote unquote are emotional. Some people actually wrote the words, I get angry with others and I need to control that. Being emotional, being angry, getting easily upset, these are three terms I can tell you right now are huge red flags for an interviewer. And the reason is, it's not just about your skills, it's not just about your ability to do things, but it also comes down to one other key thing. Are you a good fit? Are you going to get along with the other people here in the job? Whether you're dealing with patients, whether you're dealing with other colleagues, you getting along with them is going to be a big key. And saying that you get easily upset, you're emotional, and you get mad is not something that you want to ever say. Now, if you are being truthful, which I believe many of you, and by the way, I thank you for that. Thank you for being honest. This is the time and place to correct that, right? So here's what I want you to do instead. And for many of you, I said, instead of saying that you're emotional or you get upset, talk about the fact that maybe, you have high expectations for yourself. And you maybe get discouraged or unhappy or get frustrated when others don't hold the same standards. Maybe you get frustrated when people don't see your point of view. So my question to you is, what are you doing to solve for that? And some of the typical answers that you may want to consider using is, again, I get frustrated when I deal with coworkers who don't hold the same weight of work that I do. But what I'm doing instead is I'm talking to my supervisor, I'm working to understand what they're doing versus what I'm doing, and I'm using this as an opportunity because I am doing more work, or I'm doing things in a certain way to develop my skills. I'm also using this as an opportunity to learn how to work with others, because I can't hold everybody to the same expectations that I hold myself. I hold myself to a very high standard, and that is why I'm out to produce quality work. So therefore, this is, what I'm doing is working with my supervisor to make sure that I understand that and to help me and make sure that when I do encounter situations where I do get into disagreements with my coworkers, I'm able to mediate it, because part of my goal is to understand their point of view and share mine in a way that's respectful, and more importantly, in a way that will help us to bridge whatever misunderstandings we have. Feel free to rewind everything I just said and write it down, because it will be helpful. Again, the context of any situation you come up with is always to show you are growing, you are bettering yourself, you are aware of the problem, but you are overcoming it. So these are some of the tips I want to share with you this week before I conclude the video. So with that, log on to the eLearn site, go to the week 3 box, click on week 3, watch all my videos, give yourself time, because you're not going to be able to do it all in one shot, I'll tell you that much. Go through the templates and start putting together all of your resume pieces and answer my one question of the week. My participation question of the week is really simple. Tell me the one thing that you learned from each of the videos that you watched this week. So you need to watch the videos, and you're going to tell me one thing that you learned from each one. You're going to put it all into one single posting in the participation question for week 3, and then you're done. So watch the videos, get started in terms of developing your content, and then week 4 you're going to be spending it putting together your drafts. I'm going to tell you right now, please do not send me any drafts ahead of time and say, can you please look at this? Because the point of a draft that you're going to send me in week 4 is for me to then give you all that feedback. And it does take time for me to go through all of your content. So this is why I want to make sure that you are not waiting on me during week 3. This is why week 3 is the opportunity for you to get caught up with these things and start building your content. With that, that's where we are. If you have any have any questions, email me and we'll go from there. Thanks again, everyone. Sorry for the longer than usual video, but again, you can see we have a lot to cover this week. Hope you enjoyed a good week, and I'll talk to you all soon. Take care.